Good morning. Good morning. It is Wednesday, October 29th. It's the last Wednesday of October. Halloween will be here in a couple of days. How is everyone doing? How is everyone's October going? This is the first month of the last quarter of the year. So today I am your coach, Felicia Saraceno. Today, we are going to talk about the way, and how we take a look at the senior real estate division right now. So I look at this, and this is something that's completely changed many folks' view of real estate, the 3 Ps of senior real estate. So purpose, people, and profit. Make sure to write this down. This is going to be a mini coaching session today. So it's the 3 Ps: purpose, people, and profit. So for purpose, what if your most meaningful work was also profitable? So when we're serving older adults, you're helping them through a major chapter of their life. It's about dignity and peace of mind. And that's very impactful for you. And it's also an honor for you to be allowed into their home to help them with this. The one thing that was most likely an unwritten mission statement of any senior living community that I have worked in, because I have worked in about less than a handful, right? Well over, my decade and a half within the healthcare industry, right? Was it's an honor for us to work in their home. Their home, when they move into senior living, goes beyond their room, goes into the common spaces, their lobby, their restaurants, their activity spaces, library, whatever they have, their theater, that's their home. And that is how they look at it as well. Because if they have a studio or a 1 bedroom, when they have guests come over, they go into a small living room to go and enjoy that company, right? And they all meet there. So can you all agree? And you could write yes in the comments too, in the chat, sorry. Because when we're touring places, that is how it has been explained to you. And if you have seen that before, you will see that is something that is being talked about everywhere. When you now go into their home, you're not a real estate agent coming into their home just to sell their home. You now have purpose for them. This is very impactful for you to be here. And it's an honor for you to be able to go in there and help them with whatever they are struggling with, whatever challenges would be. Now, if you have read, and I always bring this up, if you haven't read this book by Matt Paxton, he is one of our mentors. He also endorses the Productive Aging Collective. We're the only senior real estate coaching platform that he does endorse. He came to speak for me down here in Southwest Florida in January. And I've read this book before, but if you haven't, it's a gem, and I'll tell you why. In the back is a great cheat sheet for you of resources. So when you look back here, because now you're going into their homes and you're seeing, oh, they have Christmas decorations. Do I donate or sell? Where would I sell them? Where would I donate them? It's all written in here. It's the best cheat sheet ever. If someone has depression glass, It's in here. It tells you what to do with them, where to sell it if you need to sell it. China, where to donate it. Books. The one thing I will say about books is the best place to bring books is memory care, because with memory care, those residents like to thumb through books a lot of times. And so that's something, that's a place where I've donated a lot of books to. But I always bring this book up because this little section in the back is like huge. And so the one question that I want you guys to write in the chat, or you can chime up, is what was your original purpose of wanting to serve seniors right now? Why did this interest you? You can, anyone can shout it out, or you could write it in the chat, whatever you think, to ease their journey. Absolutely. For me, is to provide them with peace of mind. It's very stressful, very, very, very stressful moving someone. And so providing that peace of mind was also, provide work in long-term care, to be a good advocate. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely, Heather. When was the last time a client reminded you of why do you do what you do? Does anyone remember? Does anyone have anything they'd like to share?
I'm going to say this morning.
What happened this morning?
I am
Oh,
here.
I see.
I'm here helping a family. Husband is in long-term care, has been there for a little over a year and a half, has always been the breadwinner and the one that handles all of the finances and all the grown-up stuff. So
Yep.
we have been working with the family to kind of help retrain the family that's home to do those things. And today we are getting them a new water heater.
Oh, yay. That's fabulous. I love that. I love that. I love that. And this was kind of piggybacks off of that. So, what would it look like if your next transaction wasn't about selling a home, but it was about changing someone's life? This is powerful right now. And our purpose fuels our passion, and your passion is going to drive your performance. So recently, I went on a listing appointment. Yes, I go probably around 4 a month, I would say. Sometimes 2 a week, sometimes 1 a week, it depends, right? Last week I went on 2. I got both of them. And it's not like, yeah, I got both of them. It's, yes, real estate is my driver in order for me to pay my bills, right? I have a passion for this, but if I don't make any money at it, I'm just a philanthropist. Make sense? I'm not a philanthropist with millions of dollars to allocate to charity. I still have to put food on the table for my family. So my passion really fuels my purpose, and my passion also drives my performance to do well so that I can continue to provide excellent service. So back to my listing, one of my listing appointments. She had already interviewed 3 people. I was her 4th. She didn't want to meet with me. My senior move manager said, you got to meet with Felicia. She's different than anyone that you've met with. And this woman's from Massachusetts. I'm a New Englander. I'm from Connecticut. And she said, no, I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll call her. We end up touching base with each other. I went to meet with her. She sat down at the table and she said, tell me something all these other agents already told me. Tell me something different. So I just started talking to her, telling her why I do this, how I help her, who I've known in the industry for years. I know where she's moving to. I know the layout of her room. Although she already has a senior move manager helping her with placement of that room, I'm now helping her solidify, yep, this is going to fit, right? Your dresser's going to fit in that room. Absolutely. Well, you probably have a little bit more room to take this little table over here, but I'll check with the move manager just to make sure there's space on her design plan for you. And so we balance each other And by the end of everything, she said, you do everything that everyone else does, but you do more. You're providing me with peace of mind that my transition is going to be smooth. This is how she was talking. I was like, this lady's ready. And she said, and you're making me feel very comfortable with the senior living move right now because it's a lot for me. And so I won, which is fabulous. And sometimes we win and sometimes we don't because of a relationship that someone has. I didn't meet this lady a day in my life before, but I made her feel very comfortable because I explained to her why I do this and my passion. And so that's something that you have to be comfortable with talking about. And Donna, I love what you went through as well. Watching your mom in senior living, seeing the things that happen, right? And being able to give people some insight in that, and then what to do to correct any mistreatment that anyone would have, right? Because that's something that's passionate for you. And moving on to people, this business is all about relationships. Doesn't matter what business you're in. I don't care if you're in the car wash business, all about people and relationships. There are some things that are need driven, right? We need to go to the grocery store. We need to get gas. But when it comes time for choosing a service driven business, which we are, relationships really, really take that to a whole new level. And our seniors and their families need guidance more than ever. It's very, very traumatic when you are in the hospital and the hospitalist comes in and says, you can't go home alone. We just went through this with another person. Can't go home alone. Mom has to go to assisted living or she needs 24-hour care. So the family automatically said, we're going to set her up with 24-hour care. And they called me. And it's actually a call through another agent that I know here. And I said, well, do you know what the cost difference is of those right now? No, they didn't know. They were just going to go home and set up 24-hour care. And I said, okay, well, you're looking at around $25,000 to $30,000 a month for 24-hour care right now. And so their eyes bugged out of their head. And then I said, well, have you thought of respite in assisted living? Have you all heard of the term respite before? Okay, good. And I said, let's see what mom's new baseline is going to be. Let's continue with that PT. Let's get home health in there. Let's see what the max we can get in. Ask them when they write the order, don't do it for 3 days a week. Can they do it for 5 days a week? Right? Because home health can be done anywhere you call home. We all know. And that is one of the things that we talked about in getting that transition for her. And let's say it's a month. Well, let's see where her baseline is after that month. And let's have her evaluated right then after that month. So she broke her arm. And so this particular woman, and so now we have a plan. She's going to have a safe discharge. Mom's not kicking and screaming going into senior living because she's like, you know what? I feel safe. I have a plan. My house is still there. And we got her to go in, which all of this are things that you're going to come up with. So when you build that trust with your reciprocal referral partners, your advocates that work in the hospital systems, the families, the seniors, they're going to see how much empathy you have for people and their families going through this really tough decision. Because I have two siblings right now that are fighting. The brother's like, we will scrape the money together to get her to stay home and have as much care as we can provide for her. And the daughter's like, what if mom lives another 10 years and she blows through $25,000 a month in fees? These are things that you have to help them with. And then they look to you and go, what should I do? We provide options. And we gave her an option that's going to work for her. So you're trusted when you're in this, you're a trusted partner for them. You're providing them with some peace of mind. So people don't care how much you know. They care until they know how much you care. So let me say that again. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I want you to write that down because as we are going through this with our clients, as we are building our relationships with them, I provided peace of mind for this family right now. But what I also did was solidify to the 5 vendors that I'm working with for this client, including the hospital case manager, the hospitalist, asking questions, put on speakerphone, that I care about her and want to make sure she has a safe discharge. I'm not just there to sell that home, right? And I'm not going to be the one selling the home. One of a local agent that I am pretty good friends with is going to be helping. So I'm helping them also elevate them as well. They didn't know what to do. They called me. So this is how we all work together here in the same space. So I want you to think about this for when you're building out your board of directors. Who could be your next referral partner in the senior space? Is it a case manager? Is it a move manager? Is it a housekeeper? Is it home care or home health? Who haven't you partnered with that can help you with a scenario like I just said that you could extend your reach to? Anyone have any ideas they want to write down? Hi, Maggie. Thanks for joining.
I don't really have any specific ideas beyond what you just mentioned, but I have been working out on my bod, and I've
Mm-hmm.
just got my financial planner on board. I'm meeting with a senior care placement agent on Friday. I've met with several senior living communities in this, and I've got a second networking group I'm going to. And then I'm getting ready to meet with a home care service as well. So we're ticking the boxes.
I love it. And as you're building with them, you are really expanding your network for how you can help. And you're going to see what happens, with these partners and how you're going to merge together and how you're going to be able to support your seniors in your market.
Mm.
So our last P for the day is profit. And here's the best part. When you lead with purpose and focus, the profit naturally follows. We all know the senior market is the fastest growing opportunity in real estate. Those who serve it well are building businesses that are both fulfilling and financially strong. Every 8 seconds, someone is turning the age of 65 or older. I mean, just let that sink in right now. And the trillions of dollars of wealth that are going to transfer. So I want you to think back to your most rewarding closing. What made it profitable, both financially and emotionally? Now, I want you to write in the chat, where do you see the biggest opportunity to serve seniors in your market right now? I want you to write that in there. What's the biggest opportunity? Could it be educational courses? Could it be making sure you're rounding out your seminars? Yep. Rounding out your board of directors right now? Could it also be word of mouth referrals too? Because seniors have friends, and I've dominated whole neighborhoods because of it. They all start moving. And they may not really move into the same community because it's not one size fits all. Every community has got its own energy inside of it. It may be because they said, you know what? I've been wanting to do that. And Mary Beth beat me to the punch. Now she doesn't have to worry about the roof. She doesn't have to worry about hurricanes, blizzards, the price of oil, propane to heat your home in the wintertime. All of these are things they think of. The roof, lawn maintenance. Now, a little shameless plug, I just wrote a chapter in the latest NAIPC Caregiver Edition book. It was on emergency preparedness. Doesn't matter where you live across this nation, we all have to be prepared for emergency. And it's beyond just what you should have as far as emergency food supplies. It's a lot more. And I used to be, when I was an executive director for 2 buildings, I used to be in charge of the emergency preparedness plan, which is a binder like this thick. And you have to make sure you have a plan in place and a backup plan in place and a backup plan on top of that for all of your residents, including moving them to another location and how they're going to get there. Very important. So what's one, so right now you're all going to take your action plan. So I see seminar, education, taking the resources, building your bod right now. These are all really huge things. What about just providing some information on your social for downloadable lead magnets on guides? The differences between navigating senior living options. What to do with my stuff. You could use this as a quick reference guide. Yeah, Heather said I was just working on that last night. Yep, I have a downsizing guide on my website. Although I have the strangest people download them. I still, because I get an alert when someone downloads it. I had someone from China download it the other day. I was like, okay, here we go. They want to know what we're doing for senior living. Let's go, right? It's kind of funny. But providing some resources for them, where to go, how to find this, what are the top 5 people that are going to help you make your moves smoother, downloadable checklist. Those are great lead magnets for you. Because if your base is looking at you online, that adult child or the senior themselves, depending on what your platform is, or that professional, they're going to download it and look at it. They want to see what you're putting out there. So today I challenge you all to look beyond that transaction. My shirt says, beyond the handshake. Multi-generational wealth, say that 6 times fast, starts here. This is my new t-shirt. Beyond the handshake was the topic at EXP conference that Paul and I did in the breakout session. It is also the title of the new book I'm writing right now. That's something that's very important. We have to look beyond that transaction. And I want you to ask yourself, what can I do to serve with more purpose for how I can connect with people? What can I provide them with? I know one of our members is actually writing a couple of books using AI and self-publishing on Amazon, not because he wants to go and put them up on Amazon. It's because he wants to bring them to his client's house, to drop them off as a resource. Now, I never thought about doing that. I think writing a chapter in a book was enough. And now with me writing my own book, I was like, oh, I don't know if I could break 5 of them on ChatGPT. But, some people are using those AI tools to their advantage on how to enhance the value that they're bringing faster, quicker. And if you're interested in doing that, that's okay. If you're not interested in doing that, that's okay. It's taken me a long time. It took me a long time just to write my chapter, and it's going to take me a long time to finish the book that I'm writing because I'm very passionate about the words that I use. And so it's going to take me a little bit longer than maybe others to get that done. But it's because I drive with that purpose. So, how can you serve with more purpose? And how is that going to help you connect with more people? Because once you get that whole recipe right, the profit takes care of itself. So I'm really excited for all of you to make that impact right now and you're building something that really matters right now in this world, in our country that is such a hot topic. What's the one word that captures the impact you want to make this quarter for the last quarter of the month? Write it in the chat. And Heather, I see that she said I was just working on that last night. Is that the guides, the downloadable guides?
Yeah, I took some of the GWG stuff and was trying to put in my Q3 and get everything planned for social media and lead magnets and the funnels and all that stuff. So last night I kind of spent the night going through what I know in my market I've been asked about a lot lately and kind of some of the events coming up and figuring out how to intertwine them with each other to start creating those lovely lead magnets we like to do.
I know, it's funny. Those are a whole class within themselves on how to get them set up.
Yep, I've watched it like 3 or 4 times.
And I still need to watch it when I do it because I don't do it that often. It's funny how you learn certain things within this industry, right? But if you don't do it on a regular basis, you're like, how did I do that again? Where did I find that? So it's always good to have those videos and tutorials for you. And in all of our LFG calls that we have, they're always housed on our YouTube channel. We're live on YouTube right now, and you could go back and rewatch them. They do have titles attached to them. Like today's title will be the 3 Ps: purpose, people, and profit. So you'll be able to go back if you want to watch it from the beginning and make sure we captured everything. And you could you could go back on all of our other ones as well to do it. And so who's ready to serve with purpose, people, and profit? Write a yes in the chat if you are. Let's blow it up. And I think that today is a new day. It doesn't matter when you get started, as long as you are serving with purpose and you're putting people first, the profit will come. Every day, know that, a lot of us say affirmations in the morning. One of my affirmations that I always say is I'm going to do everything just a little bit better than yesterday. I'm going to be a little bit more purposeful than yesterday. And know you do not have to create 6 downsizing guides today, a rack card, all of your social media for the next month. You will be burnt out and you will sit there and say, I am never doing this again. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't, because then you're going to get a little bit overwhelmed and it's going to be too much. So just taking one thing and focusing on it, I feel, is the best that you can do. Lisa, absolutely. You could always call me. I'm going to drop my phone number in the chat. Make sure. And right now, our senior market, it's not just a niche, really isn't. It's a movement. Our movement is about passion for our purpose, and then profit will follow. We're here because we have a passion for serving our seniors who have done so much for our world, our lives, our area that we have, the growth of certain businesses within your area. And we're serving someone who you'll be amazed at when you start asking them what they did and who they worked for is really uplifting. I will tell you, the first assisted living building that I worked in, we took care of the first female president for a bank in the United States of America. And she was an amazing human being. And we took care of her for many, many years. And she has some great stories. You got to tap into that. And when, not to get political, but when we had the first female running for president, I had three over 100-year-olds that lived with me. When they were born, women didn't have the right to vote, own property, and they had a lot to say. Let's put it that way. The news came in to do an interview on them. They were in the front page of the paper because I had a 100-year-old, 103-year-old, and a 107-year-old. The 107-year-old had the most to say, I'll tell you that much. And she was a little bit fire, which was great. And so I love hearing those stories. I think they're amazing. Any last thoughts, comments that anyone wants to bring up before we head out for the day? Y'all are ready to lead with that purpose?
Good
Maggie,
information as always. Thank you so much. And I'm going to call you.
Yeah, give me a call. Just as a side note.
Yeah, I want to just jump in and thank everybody for the call. I joined a little late and I've been wanting to be more intentional. I just have a heart to serve this generation. And I feel like, you know, it's sexy to serve younger people, and it sometimes can be daunting and overwhelming to focus on our 55 plus group, but
Mm-hmm.
they need and deserve the help and the service more than anybody. And of course, that's where the wealth really is, this generational shift that we're getting ready to see. And it concerns me, like, I have several family members and who are a generation ahead of me that they are going to have to navigate money for the first time in their lives. They've trusted their husbands their whole lives, and there's not really anyone to protect them. And I realize, like, there's all over the world, not just in the United States, but this is a whole brand new crisis.
It is. And
Eh,
it's funny you bring that up. I've had women after their husbands pass away, they didn't even know how to write a check.
Exactly. I mean, we just think about, even, I mean, I was born in 1979 and I still kind of blindly trust my husband to pay my bills. I mean, I know where money is, I know where our money is, and I know what's being paid and when and things like that, but I enjoy him taking care of it. Like, it's a privilege that he does that. And you know, our mothers and our great aunts and all these people, they're really not in the know. And so
No.
we, as a society, we have to figure out how to help them.
Yeah.
And those of us that want to serve, we're going to have to take that on. So I'm
Gotta
really
take it
excited.
on.
I learned a lot today.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. And I'll leave you guys with this. Last week at our conference, they launched the sports and entertainment division as part of the luxury division. Do you know how many agents were running to sign up for that? Sign up for the training? It was like, I want to work for the sports and entertainment department. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, do you think in Kalamazoo, you're going to have a lot of sports and entertainment people who you're going to have to serve? Like, let's really think that through. Right? And you sit there and say, there's a lot of people running for that because they see the glitz, they see the glamour, they love the luxury, you know, any luxury presence, anything that has to do with luxury, everyone's running to. But part of our conversation that we did at the conference was how, when you're working with seniors, you can take one transaction and turn it into 5. That sounds like easy math. It is easy math if you know how to serve this population and ask the right questions. So as we keep going through on these mini coaching calls, we're going to be dropping some more of this for you, but we got to get started with the basics, right? So we're slowing down, we're listening to what Y'all are telling us on the coaching platform, we're slowing it down for everyone so that it's a lot more easy to digest, to create that blueprint for you so that you could take off and run. That's something that's really, really important. And so you're going to really start seeing that kind of come together so that as you're building out your business plan, which if y'all weren't on Corey's class last week about talking about your 2026 goals and what your pillars are, it's a must listen to. And as we go into November, I'm going to be teaching a class for business development on how to build out your referral network nationwide in the senior living industry or the senior real estate industry nationwide. How do you go about doing that for 2026 so that people are calling you? Our seniors are moving all over the nation right now. Doesn't matter where you live. They're moving to where their adult children are, or their friends, or their siblings, or something of that nature. And I have moved in the past year 10 folks all over the US right now and counting right now. So we're going to be teaching that. Paul's going to be teaching stuff on how to build out your reciprocal partnerships for 2026. And Corey's going to go into that blueprint business planning for you so that we each have a section so that you could really dive into that and make sure that your 2026 plan is rock solid now. If you ain't planning now, you're never going to plan. Can't start planning in February or March. You missed the boat. So I hope you all enjoyed today. I did. This was a lot of fun today. Thank you for even lifting my spirits on this Wednesday, last Wednesday of the month. And glad to see you all here. And I hope you all have a great day. You have my phone number. Call me. And Heather, I want to hear about what you're doing too. So we'll connect. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, and Ronaldo, I got to call you. I got to find out how your listing appointment went.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, thank you.
All right, yeah. My phone number's in the chat. Give me a text me or because
Yes.
I don't have your cell. I want to hear
Yes.
all about it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.